All right, let's talk about something that affects every single one of us, every single day, the food we eat. We're going to dive into a topic that's, well, literally on everyone's plate. How safe is it, really? The source material for this explainer raises some pretty tough questions, about what might actually be lurking in our meals.
So let's just jump right in with this question. Think about your kitchen for a second. What's the most dangerous thing in there? A sharp knife, maybe? The hot stove? Well, what if? What if the most dangerous thing is the food itself? The very stuff we buy to keep us healthy. It's a scary thought, right?
Okay, to really get a sense of how serious this can be, let's look at something super common, a kitchen staple. Yep, we're going to crack open the case of the toxic egg. So, a recent investigation took a closer look at a batch of eggs, and what they found was pretty disturbing. Two specific chemicals showed up, nitrofurine and nitroamidazol. Now, these aren't just complicated-sounding names. They're actually antibiotics. And not just any antibiotics. They've been banned for use in animals that produce food because, well, they're dangerous for us. And this is where the alarm bells really start ringing. We're not talking about some minor additive here. Both of these chemicals have a very specific, very serious classification. They are genotoxic. Genotoxic? What does that even mean? Well, think of your DNA as the instruction manual for your body, for every single cell. A genotoxic substance is something that can actually damage that manual. It can mess with your DNA. And over time, with repeated exposure, that kind of damage can lead to some really serious stuff, like cancer. So we're not just talking about a bad stomachache. This is a long-term risk, right down to the cellular level. Okay, so that's the story of the eggs. But here's the thing. This is way bigger than just one bad carton. What the source material suggests is that this could be a much, much more widespread problem. You can think of the egg situation as a wake-up call, because the reality is this whole contamination issue could be affecting a lot of other foods that are probably sitting in your fridge or pantry right now. And wow, this is where it really hits you. Just take a look at this list. We're talking about milk, potentially mixed with detergent or urea to make it seem like it has more protein. That can cause organ damage. Or spices, colored with artificial textile dyes. Dyes for clothes in our food. And it doesn't stop. Cereals, pulses, even rice, a daily staple for so many, potentially containing things like talc or even arsenic. Each one of these is a huge health risk on its own, but when you see them all together, it points to something much, much bigger being wrong. So, when you see a pattern like this across eggs, milk, spices, rice, it's not really about just one or two bad companies anymore, is it? It starts to look like a much larger issue, a failure in the whole system. And that, of course, leads to a lot of fear. And this quote from our source material just says it all, doesn't it? An entire nation has become paranoid because the system has consistently failed them. It's not just about being worried about getting sick. It's about losing trust. When you can't trust the very systems that are supposed to keep you safe, feeling paranoid almost starts to feel rational. So, when you're faced with all of this, the conclusion is pretty simple and direct. It has to change. And that leaves us with one last really big question to think about. When doing something as basic as grocery shopping feels like a gamble, who's responsible for keeping us safe? Is it the companies making the food? The government agencies that are supposed to be watching them? Or does it fall on us, the consumers, to stand up and demand something better?